So many faces. Hi. So I'm Crystalin. My prenatal again is 12115. I have a beautiful daughter, Sage, who is 4.5. And she's really the center of my world today. So I'm here to just tell you a little bit about my story. Um, Growing up, I didn't get a lot of useful or practical life skills. I grew up in a very violent, dysfunctional family. There was a lot of domestic violence. So the tools that I picked up, I learned how to detach from my feelings, how to detach from reality, and how to run from my problems. And I started using very early on because, with trauma, for me came a lot of insecurity. I was very shy. I didn't know where I fit in life. I was very insecure. So when I found drugs and alcohol, I found a confidence in myself, and I thought, this is my solution. This is what I've been missing my whole life. And I quickly, ever since the first day I took a drink, I drank to excess. I didn't know how to moderate. My dad was an alcoholic, so drinking until I blacked out was a normal thing. I didn't know people could drink one drink and be okay. So, a lot of people told me that I had a problem very early on. My dad sent me to my mom's house. My mom, even my friends would tell me that I'm using and drinking too much, and I didn't see that. I couldn't see that. I didn't see that I was hurting people around me, and I didn't see that I wasn't really going anywhere in my life. I kept spinning out of control. And when things got too much, when I got in trouble with the law, or when my family pressure became too much, I just took off. I ran because that's what I knew how to do. I went to different states to try to get sober, but that never helped. I always thought it was something outside of me, that if I could just change the people or change the location, maybe things would be different. Maybe I could drink a little better, but that never happened. I tried so many methods to get to me, and I tried, Suboxone, detox, moving state lines, all of that, and nothing seemed to help. I had no guidance through that time, so I just repeated the same pattern, and I kept getting in these situations where everything was falling apart around me, and I'm like, why is this happening? When I found out I was pregnant with my daughter, I thought, this is it. This is going to be my purpose. This is going to be my new direction. I'm going to have a family. Life is going to be amazing. I don't have to do all of this crazy stuff anymore. And I had dreams and aspirations for the first time. That was the first real moments of my active addiction that I realized that no matter how much I wanted to stop, that I couldn't. By myself, I couldn't do it. I would wake up and use and throw everything away, tears running down my face, crying like, this is it, I'm done, this is my last time. Because I knew what I was doing. It was not fair to the child inside of me. And, I would just wake up the next morning and just repeat that same process. And I just kept doing it over and over. It was like I had no choice. That was the most desperate, just depressing time in my life. A time where it was supposed to be joyous, and it definitely wasn't. I don't know why the doctors let me leave with my child in Illinois when she was born, because she was born addicted, and she had to stay in ICU to recover from that. But I was able to leave, and because of that, I dragged my daughter through things that she never should have to see. A 1 and 2-year-old nobody should have to see their mom getting beat up and surrounded by abusive people and, violent language and, experiencing the neglect and, um, you know, no mom should have to, or no child should have to see their mom overdosing, and these are things that, a sane person, like I wouldn't choose my daughter to go through that, but that's where my disease led me, and CPS eventually came into my life, and they had to do an emergency removal from my house, and that's where things started getting really real for me. Even though she was gone, I had so much like regret and remorse because I knew that it was my actions and my use that got her that I gave her to CPS, but I kept using. It was like an autopilot. I just could not stop. I was at the point where I was, sleeping outside. I was homeless, trying to find cardboard so I wouldn't, have to sleep on the ground, so I could sleep on something that was soft. I was definitely at my rock bottom after that, and luckily one night I was arrested, and when I was in jail, something came over me. They were going to release me out, and I just knew something inside of me was like, if I go back out there, I'm going to die, and I'm not going to make it back. And I knew that I needed to make some changes in my life, and I wasn't sure how to go about that, so I asked the judge to keep me in jail until I got into an outpatient treatment facility, and the judge granted me that. And I went to a 6-month inpatient treatment where I was eventually reunited with my daughter. And it was on my 26th birthday, I believe, a day before that she was brought back into my care. Before I graduated, I had to find a place to live, and that scared me. I had no idea what I was doing. I was going to have this freedom, and I had this little girl with me, and I was terrified. And I am so grateful that the Phoebe House was there to take us in, because I learned all of those life things that I think people learn when they're little from their parents. Like, I got to learn that at New Phoebe House. I learned, when I got to New Phoebe House, I didn't know how to cook. I could barely boil water. Like macaroni and cheese and hot dogs, that was the extent of my cooking abilities. So I got to learn how to create like nutritious meals, and they really taught me about nutrition and like vegetables. That's the thing that I should like eat every day. That's probably good. So they taught me these simple things that you think like, oh yeah, common sense, you should know. So I built so many great relationships there at New Phoebe House. It was really amazing to be surrounded by a group of women who not only have gone through the same stuff I have gone through, but are trying to better their lives. And that made me feel like home. And a lot of the women that I met there, I still talk to today. We still go on play dates, and we help each other out, and we do fun things and activities out. Now that I've graduated, I still have these strong connections that I really needed out here, because I don't have family out here. I didn't have a support group out here, so that I was able to build that. And one thing the Phoebe House really taught me was how they helped me find the confidence that I had deep inside, and they helped me discover that I can be a leader, and that my voice does matter, and that I can accomplish and set goals and accomplish them, and see that I have accomplished them, because I was really good at beating myself up, and they helped me see what I could do and what I could build. Now, like I said, I have my own apartment, my own personal space, for me and my daughter. She goes to ECAP, where I'm involved in their policy council. I'm almost out of debt. I'm getting a new car today. Like, these are things that, I never thought were possible before. And Phoebe House helped me discover that and helped me get to where I'm at. I'm a full-time student at TCC. I'll be graduating in December with an AA in Human Services. And, I really just want to help other people going through what I have gone through. I intern at NBC to help people who are experiencing homelessness and people who are low income get into housing. And I work at a treatment center right now with people who are in detox, and I get to be there for them, and I get to, help them through these challenges and just stand beside them. And that is the greatest gift that not only I have received, but I can give back. I sponsor women in the program and have my own sponsor, and I'm just surrounded by amazing women in my life, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful for this life and all the gifts that New Phoebe House has given me and that I get to still be a part of today. Thank you.